Hi everyone. I was on a minute ago and I guess the internet connection was not very good. So yay, I'm back. Happy Friday. I am painting some watercolor today. So I had started to talk about how my dog wants to join us as always. He loves painting Friday. You can hear him in the background. But what I was going to talk about today was beauty and destruction. I've been watching, you know, the calls of the dog. Hold on. Sorry about that. I've been watching Blue Planet lately. I don't know if anyone likes that show, if they're into it. But one of the very cool things, besides the fact that it's just amazing, it's beautiful, and there's so much cool imagery, and just the size and scale alone is just crazy. There he goes. Crazy puppy dog. He's got to make a cameo every week. But the thing that I learned and loved about it the last time we were watching it was the fact that the most amazing areas where there's life in the middle of the ocean come from these places where it was a volcanic, like underground volcano. So it's coming out of the ocean floor, or even, it doesn't even necessarily have to be underground. It also is the really small islands that are built in the middle of the ocean, kind of away from most major landforms. There's these small islands. That's where most of the new landforms are being created from volcanic activity. So it's just lots of destruction. It's really violent. There's a lot of things being spouted up from the bottom of the ocean floor. It's all very kind of brutal and a little ugly, especially if you've had the pleasure of going to places like Hawaii and seeing the volcanoes. I've been there, but not to see the volcanoes, so I will definitely love to go someday. But the way that the land becomes almost scarred from all that recent activity that's been going on. The way that the volcanoes leave their mark becomes this kind of almost like dark, damaged area. But back to Blue Planet, what they were saying is in these out in the open ocean where it's basically just a desert, there's not a whole lot of life in most of the ocean, the open ocean. These small islands or volcanic activity that pops up and is destructive becomes the source for beauty and life. That these new formations disrupt the lost for words, the currents in the ocean, there we go, and force food and other nutrients to be pushed up to the surface, where then they can collect. Things like plankton and algae can thrive in the sunlight and the warm water, and then that's where all the food is. So then the little fish join in, because all the plankton's hanging out, being tasty. And these little colonies start to grow. around the dark, this destruction, this violence that comes out of the middle of the ocean, builds these little oases. Oh man, words. Where plankton and other things can live, and it starts to create this really rich environment where all of a sudden all kinds of little guys start to grow and live. This thing that was very destructive becomes the center of a lot of new beautiful life in the middle of this, in the vast ocean where there's not a lot of food, there's not a lot of life, there's not a lot of places to hide. These new reefs start to become a sanctuary for all kinds of fish. Then that in turn becomes places where other things can grow, begin to form life. The thing that was altering very violently, changing the shape of the earth, the ocean itself, altering the currents, affecting the way that things flowed. All of a sudden it becomes this beautiful, rich environment for all sorts of new life, new growth, movement. The little algae guys start to become the basis for all the life, all of the creatures. I mean, everything stems from that, from the life that can start to thrive on these little ocean oases. Something that, in a place that's actually pretty desolate, life starts to thrive. Emotion, energy. That grand plan of all the little intricate things that needed to happen for this to become what it eventually is, this thriving new source of life in this place that was extremely desolate. Now all of a sudden there's all of this beauty and motion, movement, and flow. Hi everyone who's joining me. Happy Friday. I am talking about how I love Blue Planet and how it inspired me to think about the ways that something that can be incredibly destructive can actually also breed a lot of beauty, new life, hope, movement. And how in the vast desert of open ocean, there are these little well springs or places where islands are growing, coming from the center of the earth. How violent that can be, how brutal that can be, and how it can almost kind of scar the environment. But how also that becomes the source for a lot of life, a lot of growth and movement. It becomes the place where things ebb and collect and flow and start to vibrate. how there's beauty in that destruction because it creates new life. Hi everyone, sorry I'm kind of just getting into the flow of painting. I am talking about how cool it is, the design of things when something that's incredibly destructive like a volcano, like kind of what's going on in Hawaii, can actually be the place of the source of a lot of beauty. It can be the place where new life springs up in areas like the vast ocean where there really isn't, there's not a lot of shelter, there's not a lot of food, but these new landforms create places that disrupt the flow of the ocean and allow food and other things to spring up, other fish, kinds of cool stuff. Just inspired me to try to visualize something that can be incredibly violent, but then ultimately can create a lot of beauty. Hi everyone, hi Jerry. Happy Friday. Just playing with some watercolors today. Thank you guys for joining me. Kind of a quick one today, but thank you all. Have a good Friday. Bye.